We finished turning this typical garage space into a multi-purpose, family-friendly crafting space. We've probably spent more time in this room than any other area in the house. It has been such a wonderful project to do and to have the space to enjoy. Well, the time has come. We are working on moving. It is the end of March, and this is the craft room that I've enjoyed for, gosh, really not long enough. It is obviously a mess right now because I am working on packing. I do have all of the cabinet drawers and everything emptied out. That shelf is emptied out. So we do need to finish up a few things. It's kind of funny that when people move or don't move, they tend to wait for the trim last. So if you can see over on that wall right there, we do have a little bit of trim that needs finished. There's some trim around the window. So this is kind of, finishing up the craft room as we are actually moving out to the farm. So what's going to happen with everything here is it will end up at our office. We have a couple of office spaces that we've used for storage, and we have used for more storage for me. So I have all my booth displays, extra soaps, extra rugs, that kind of stuff set up in there. So I'm going to reorganize that and try to put as much of this in there as possible, and just kind of see where we're going to go with everything. The looms, those are going to get packed up, especially the two larger ones, because I won't be doing anything with those. I really pushed to get as many rugs on, this big one here. And then this one is the one that I do hand towels and bread towels and things on. The smaller loom I'll go ahead and take with me to the house that we're going to be staying in, so I can at least make some smaller projects. We are in the middle of the quarantine, which is worldwide, that we're dealing with. So this has put kind of an interesting spin on everything, and trying to move and trying to close and trying to live life and trying to get some type of normal, which really doesn't exist right now. So we are working on moving. We're going to move some of the stuff over to the office today. And this next week, my classes are switching to online. My daughters still have another week. I don't want to say off, but the schools are still trying to figure out how to switch to online. Of course, when this video will post, things will be a little bit different or beyond then, and I have no idea what's going to happen between now and then. So that's really kind of where we are right now. So the plan is to get everything here, switch over to the office. If I need to make anything, I will be making it at the office or at the rental for the time being, as we work on building the barn over at the farm, and that will be another transition. So this is where we're at right now. And then over here, I said this a little bit ago, but the trim, there's a little bit of trim up on the window, but for the most part, everything was done. I really, really love this space. So if you ever want to transition a garage space into a craft room, this has been really, really nice having this space set up, and I've really, really loved it. So we'll see you back here when we get onto the next phase. Here we are on the last day. We are actually getting ready to finish cleaning, have the last load on the trailer, and getting ready to move out. So this is that craft room. Got the trim put in, and true to typical style, when people are remodeling, the trim goes in very last. Sometimes it happens when you are moving. So this has been a really great space for us. Didn't intend on building it and then moving within a couple years after doing it. So it is done. Very, very happy with the space. Happy how it has turned out. Really, really nice. Love the countertops that Tim had done with the epoxy. Really pretty look. And my favorite part is the leaf trim that he put on there. So it's been a great space for all of us. There's a big window. All of our cars out there at the trailer. Over to the closet real quick. There's only really two things that I would have changed with this space. Let me get that for a second. To the closet again. This is a really big closet. Did not end up having a rack in here, or a clothes rack, which they can add in later, because I had those shelves in here instead, which worked really well for me. So the only thing that I would change, and this is just for my preference, is I would have more counter space in the kitchen, because in the other video I had that rack over here, maybe putting up some shelves here. We had talked about putting cabinets along this wall. We did have that shelf above the window, which we did take down. We talked about putting cabinets up there, which was something that we were planning on doing eventually. We just didn't get to it. But having a little bit more cabinet space, if that's something you need. So for what I was doing, I did need a little bit more countertop space, because when I was doing soap or doing multiple projects, I needed more space. The stuff over there is for the new owners. We wanted to have a solid place for them to put their stuff. The only other thing was putting an outlet on this side. So a lot of times when I was making things, I'm right-handed. And if I use the stove space. So I would have the cords coming around and kind of going in front of this area, because this is where I would videotape any projects I was doing. Or, you know, when I was doing any cooking type things, just having an outlet on this right side. So when I was making lip balms and things like that, it's just really handy having that over, so there's no cords or anything on that. So that's really the only couple things that we would have changed going forward. But we really appreciate you watching this. We hope you enjoyed this video, maybe picked up some tips and tricks along the way of things that may work for you if you want to switch a garage bay, an extra garage area, into a craft space. Or, you know, this does qualify as a bedroom or a living space, because it has the big window, it has a closet, it has you have an exterior door. This could also be used as an office if you want to do something like that. I wanted to go ahead and do one more video to wrap this up, and I think it's kind of fitting the stage that we're in this space right now, because this is really where we had started recording when we were doing the transition from the garage into the crafting space. So as you can tell from what I had just shown, that we were moving, and when we started recording that video and started that project, it was in the winter, late fall winter of 2017, and we finished up the space in the spring of 2018. So it was really fun seeing the girls and seeing them when they were little, and it was really neat seeing that. And with everything kind of going on, as you can tell probably from the other videos, we've had some changes and things going on, and we found some land in the summer of 2019 that we purchased. We hadn't planned on moving, but sometimes things come up that you can't pass up. So we found the land in 2019. We put that house on the market in February of 2020. It sold right away, and we had to move out when the pandemic started. So that was not good timing, and it is now late spring of 2021. Unfortunately, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, but we are doing this project. We have gone off-grid, and we are building our homestead on our farm, and we're very excited with the process and the progress and everything that we have going on with that. We are building everything ourselves. We've been recording along the way, and yes, when we started doing this video for the craft room space, that was, gosh, 3 years ago when we were doing that. So have a lot more videos with this, a lot more detail, and a lot more information on the process and the progress of what we're doing. So this space, as you can see, like I said, we're in drywall stage, which is really funny since that's where we started recording with the other. So if you head over to our sister channel, which is The Fifth Journey Off-Grid, that is going to show the videos from the start, when we started clearing the land and building the home and everything from there. So we're really excited to have this hopefully done soon. I've been making soap and doing things at the office and trying to make do with really what we have. So this space that I'm sitting in will be what we're going to call the clean room or the clean kitchen. The weaving will be in a different space. So we're going to separate the two. And a couple things that we are adding on. It is a bigger kitchen space, and it will have, it won't have access really to the rest of the house. So there won't be a lot of coming and going. And it's going to have a dishwasher, more countertops, a lot more space that way, so we can do more than one project. So we love that kitchen. It was beautiful how we had done it. It was really kind of too small for what we needed this space to be. So this will have more countertops, a lot more space for the curing, for doing extra project. Tim has something he wants to do. we don't have to completely clean up to make space for something else. Also having a much bigger sink will be awesome when I'm trying to do the dishes, and all of that will be really nice. Now, one thing that we did not record on that video is how the plumbing worked. Since that house had a basement that went out to the garage, it was kind of a walkout type basement, we ended up putting a grinder sump pump on the opposite side of the wall. The opposite side of the wall was the stairwell to go upstairs. So we just put a grinder pump in there, and then it would go on out to the sewer and all of that. So that was totally fine with that. We also had the idea, had we stayed there longer, you could have easily added a bathroom, and that was another thing that we had talked about doing, and adding that grinder pump in. On the opposite wall in the garage, there was a small space. It would be really easy to put a bathroom in as well. So that was kind of my idea. So anyway, excited for this next stage, and just kind of see where it goes. So head on over to the Fifth Journey Off-Grid, start watching there from scratch, and we'll get this room done very, very soon so we can start making more fun things for you guys to see. Take care. We'll see you soon.